today's meeting. We have Simi with us here, and she's going to be talking to us about landing a non-tech role in the tech sphere. So Simi is a product specialist with Paystack, and she'll do another introduction when she starts. So over to you, Simi. Enjoy.
Okay. I can see there are two people here, Baba Tokwe and Fumini. So I just want to say hello. I want to know who is on the line, so I can. Yeah. So hi, Fumini. Can you please, and Baba Tokwe, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Baba Tokwe. I'm currently an HR consultant with Westwood Consulting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's enough.
Well, okay. So like I think okay. Let's formally introduce ourselves. Then maybe I just ask the next question. Or Ima herself. I don't know who it is actually. Don't let me assume. Is the person there?
Hi, Fumini. You can introduce yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Fumini. Okay.
Hello?
You can continue.
Hello?
He already said hi.
Hello?
Simi, you can.
Hi.
Am I audible?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, all right. I guess it's my system. All right. My name is Fumini. I'm a T24 consultant. I work with Jetro Systems Limited.
Sorry, you said you are what?
My name is Fumini. I am a T24 consultant.
Okay.
All right. So I work with Jetro Systems Limited.
Okay. I just want to also just understand better. So are you guys looking to switch into the tech space, or somebody else has joined too? So hi Solomon, hi Izeliora. And so we're just doing introductions right now. So we're just trying to get a sense of who is here at the moment. So please, can you just introduce yourself? Solomon and Izeliora, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just introduce yourself, your name, and what you do at the moment.
Yeah, my name is Solomon, and I'm a web developer.
Okay. Okay. So, well, you're a developer. So, you're not. Are you looking to switch to a non-tech role? Because the entire topic is about non-tech roles.
No, I'm just interested in webbing, and that's it.
Okay. All right. No problem. That's okay. So, just a quick intro about myself. So, my name is Simi. Folabi Jumbo. I currently work as a product specialist at Paystack.
Okay.
Prior to Paystack, I was an IT business analyst at Bank. So I was at Bank for about 2 years. So there are different types of business analysis, but my own business analysis, so I was basically in the technology department. So I did it, I analyzed a lot of processes, and before I moved to Paystack. So the irony is I actually studied computer science. So, and I didn't, when I was in school, I did not think I was actually going to come back into the tech space, because I absolutely hated it. I don't know if it was how I was taught, or I don't know what it was, but I really hated it. But one way or the other, when I got into GT Bank training school, I was posted to technology. So I felt, oh well, maybe God wants me to come back into this space. So that's how I found myself back in the tech space. And then I moved to Paystack. So what I do at Paystack currently is we have a certain amount of key accounts that we manage for one reason or the other. So we're trying to help this account grow, come up with strategic solutions and all of those things. So yeah, that's basically, there's a bit of product things that we also do, but that's basically what I do. So it's managing relationship with a lot of key accounts. So in other companies, I'm probably called a key account manager, but in Paystack, I'm known as a product specialist, because before you can be a key account manager, that means you have deep insights into the products, so that they trust you to interact on your own with all of these big companies. So yes, that's what I do. Hi, Emmanuel. Thank you for joining us. I had a conversation with Dami, who is our host, and I just wanted to share with you landing non-tech roles in like a tech company. I think many people. Please, I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. So if you have questions, anything, don't hesitate to stop me or anything. So I'm not just rambling on and on. Um, but I realized that a lot of people think before you can work in a tech company, you might need to have like technical, you might need to know how to program. There are a lot of people that I meet, and I tell them when I work at Vista, they're like, you must be like the automatic things will be you must be a developer. I know now the conversation is changing, and more people are starting to realize that some of these companies actually hire people that are not even technical. I am a little technical in the sense that my own technical is just like I know how to do SQL and I know a little bit of Python, but like I'm not programming for anybody, so I can just run queries and all of that. But like the other people in my team that do not know, like they don't even know how to write a single line of code, and they're doing really well. So I'm just going to like like basically just disputing the notion that you need to know how to code. I don't know, is everyone following along? I just like to say hi, hello, everyone there. Hello, hello.
Hi, Simi. So they are muted so that I don't
Hello.
hear the
Okay, I just want to show like people
voice.
can hear me. You understand? So it's good
Okay.
for me to know myself. So yes. So let me just quickly switch. So yeah, some tech roles that I know, non-tech roles that like you can currently like switch to as like if you're a non-tech person, you're willing to work in one of the, let's say right now, fintech companies. So number one is product manager. This is actually one of the best. This is like one of the most popular roles that most people are switching to right now. Even when I wanted to join Paystack, this was actually I wanted to join as a product manager. But well, at that point there was no there was no role that like there was no opening for it at that moment. So that's why it's something I still eventually transitioned to. I'm not really sure about it. But as a product manager, you're owning like products. So for example, at Paystack, like you as a product manager, you can be in charge of a specific part of the product. And if you know about Paystack, Paystack is a payment processing company. So that means like there are different aspects to it. They're like internal dashboard tooling that we use. You can be a product manager that is in charge of that. And like for product manager, most of them are assigned, like they have engineers that work with them. So you don't necessarily need to know how to code to be a product manager. What you just need to know how to do is number one, manage people, because like you're going to interact with like a lot of you're going to interact with engineers, designers, support people. You just have to be like a people person and just be smart enough to be able to come up with like new ideas and all of that. So and product managers are actually really well paid in fintech industry. They are one of the, yeah, like they're well paid, because I know a lot of people that are product managers, and maybe a little bit that's one of the reasons I want to switch, because like it's good money, and it's even very easy for you to even like outside of the country, like it's also like a very popular role that like companies like Google, they're like constantly willing to hire like product managers. So that's one. So like we also have like sales. I think people don't also realize that even as a company that is in technology, you also need to sell. Especially like, for example, Paystack is a product. So we also have merchants, people that we're trying to bring on board. So we also have salespeople that also go out there to engage with these people, just to tell them about the product. And it's like you also obviously need to have a knowledge of the product so you can be a salesperson. But yeah, and I know that like it's becoming more of a thing now. I like most of the companies when they start out, the first people they hire, like they don't hire salespeople first. They first of all hire engineers and all of the other things. But it's also a role that I think people should also look into, because I think they're pretty well paid. So there's also something we call product marketing. So product marketing, it's like this person is in charge of how people know about the product, how people view the product. So when you are doing a campaign, this is the person that is in charge of how the campaign works, engagement on social, like keep track of how the website is doing and all of that. I don't think you like necessarily like I think this is a skill that can easily be acquired if you just know how to go about it. And like, it's not very popular right now, but it's a role that I think people should also consider looking into because actually a very interesting role. They sort of work together with like media managers. So the media manager is the person who's always taking picture, always creating a story about the product too. So media managers and product marketing, they usually work together because the media manager is creating content that the product marketer is going to use. Also, like we have graphic designers. So many fintech companies right now, like there's this inner competition of whose product looks the best. So in terms of how are your assets done, are they done beautifully? So some of them actually hire graphic designers and actual like product designers. That's a separate role too. This one's actually that it's very interesting to me because I did a little bit of product design. Like I tried to learn how to use Figma and all of those tools to do design, and it's such an interesting role that I think, and they're actually very well paid. Like they're really, really well paid because really good product designers are very scarce. And it's like it's great if you know how to like do some front end coding, but like you don't necessarily have to do that. Once you know how to use Figma and create amazing assets, like they'll readily take you. And I know a lot of like fintech companies actually like really look for these people. Like if you're amazing, trust me, they're going to hire you and they're going to pay you a lot of money for it. So I'm going to go towards customer for like front end part of it, so which is like customer support. I actually believe that out of most of the industry, like one of customer support representatives actually one of the like the best well-paid people. Like normally, if you hear someone is working in a customer support team in a company, you think they're getting paid maybe 80K. I'm not saying 80K is not a lot of money, but like you think they're probably getting really horrible money. But nowadays, in many fintech companies, they actually they're well paid. So I think people might tend to look down on that role. But for example, when I joined Paystack, I actually started as a customer success representative before I transitioned into this role. And the good thing about that role is because you're interacting with so many different people that don't know anything about the product, you as a person get to learn more about the product. And in that process, like you're like an expert. There's no question anybody's asking that you don't know about, because as customers are asking you questions, you have to go and do your research rate and give them the actual answers. And it's also very easy to like transition to another position in the company from that role, because like you have total knowledge of how the product really works. Like, and that also transitions to my role, which is like key account manager. That role too, like you can also like if the company has like big clients that they need help managing and they need help keeping the relationship. Like this is where key account managers come in. So like you're helping with managing the relationship, like you're the first point of contact. And the very interesting thing about this role, like which has been amazing for me, is the people you have access to. Many times when I'm like going for meetings, I'm meeting with like CEOs of like people that I ordinarily would never have access to. Like I literally have them on my phone and they know me by my name, and I know them and I call them by their first name. Like that for me, that's like the best thing about it. Like the network you create, the relationship you get to build with these people, just like because like in the process of like helping them solve all of the problems that are coming up, and you are also learning more about different industries. Like I've learned about how transportation industry works. Like you learn about so many things. Insurance. I didn't learn about insurance. I was like, I started managing some accounts out like insurance companies. So like that's it's an amazing road that like I would definitely advise anyone to like transition into. So then we also have operations. So the truth is that every company needs someone to manage the operation. So while the engineers are their head is in the code, the key accounts are there, managing relationship, customer is supporting customers. There's someone that is making sure the building runs from like beginning to like there's lights, there's electricity and lights at the same time. To make sure that there's light, there's like snacks, there's water, like the toilet is clean. So this is where like we have the operations, we have HR, we have the facility manager, we have the receptionist, all of those people, just to ensure that things are running smoothly. And for us, we call our own team of like that manage everything, we call them employee experience. And their role is to ensure like all of the employees have the best experience when they're in the office. And they're an amazing team. Like we do not take them for granted at all. Like up to the point that we're even spoiled because like they do so much for us. Like things just fall into place, and we don't know how. Like it's just like we see them like, oh, awesome, thank you. But it's a lot of work, but it's also like an interesting role where you just like you get to interact with everyone in the company. Also, you could be a project manager. So sometimes some of these companies might need projects that they want someone to take the lead on and see it from start to finish. So this is like another role you could also transition into. So just so I don't keep rambling, I just want to ask like any question. Like so far, has there been any roles that you've heard about that maybe you either want to know more about or like has interested you so far?
You can unmute your mic to answer her questions if you have a response. It doesn't look like anybody has any questions right now. Maybe they are distracted. So
Okay.
yeah, maybe you can just for anybody who is distracted and has any question, you can just write in the chat box and show it up.
Yeah. Okay, so now I mentioned the roles that you can get into. So I just want to also share like a few tips that I've learned. So for example, I've sat in maybe over 10 interviews of people that have like, tried to get into the company, and like there are just a few very obvious things that people should know that we realize that they don't actually know, like when coming in for like an interview. Number one, people don't do research. It's like that's very strange to me. How you do not know anything about the company that you want to work for. Some of these people don't even like. So, for example, Paystack has a product now. You want to come and work for Paystack, but you didn't even create an account with Paystack just to even like log in onto the dashboard and understand how it works. So for me, I'm wondering. So when you come in, and they're definitely going to ask you like product related questions, just to say, oh, I'm like they're going to definitely. I don't want to give away the questions, but like definitely there'll be some questions that are related to the product, just to see how much of an understanding of the product you have, because it's not like it's hidden. It's free to sign up. It's free to like you don't even have to go live. You can just go through the entire product on test mode. It's just very strange that you see people come and they don't know anything. Some of them don't even know about the role they're applying for. Then they don't even know about the product at all. And if we like, there's no how if someone's like if we see that you have knowledge about the product, number one, it even shows how interested you are in working for that company because you've done your research to actually go out and check what's your like. It just shows like that you're passionate about what you want to, what you're coming to work for. So for me, I just think it gives like like the person an edge over like other like candidates. It might not be a major edge because like that's just one part of the entire interviewing process, but at least it gives you a better advantage in case like there's a case of we need to drop somebody to pick somebody. Just like this person has a better understanding of the product. Let's take them. Another thing is that many of these companies right now, I think a lot of people believe once I'm smart and I know my onions, I'm definitely going to get in. But many of these companies, it does not work like that. A lot of fintech companies now are very particular about people that they let into their companies because number one is it's still like a small company and they're trying to build the culture in such a way that everyone feels welcome in the workplace. Everyone feels like family. So if they see someone who is not going to fit in well with the culture, maybe in terms of like characteristics, like it's very so for example, Facebook has like 6 values that we follow through. Like there's practice kindness, like which is a very important value that like anyone we employ ask like we have to be able to see like you're an empathetic person and you're going to be kind to people because like people are kind there. Like it's not even fake kindness, like genuine kindness. You have to be able to communicate clearly. That is, you're speaking good English. You have to be able to practice transparency. That is, like you're very like open about what you do. You don't work in such a way that you're hiding what you're doing just so you look better than the other person. Like it doesn't work there. So for all of these values, like it's just clear enough that like you need to know this value. So for example, actually I applied to Andela and I got an interview, and they asked, like at the end of the interview, they asked me what their values were. Now I knew what they were, but for some reason I did not keep them in my head. And I don't know, that might have been one of the reasons why I was dropped. Maybe, maybe not. But I mean, just knowing more about this company, just it allows everyone to see that this, like, you really, really want to work here. Also, just another thing you need to know is like just know latest news about the company. That's a question that gets asked a lot. Like, okay, like what are the recent product updates that you've heard about that's been interesting to you, that sort of thing. And I think sometimes because you're trying to please the interviewers, I mean, people that are interviewing you, you don't take time to answer the question. And I think it's very important to ask for a little time that, okay, like I got your question, but I need a little time to understand. Or is it even okay to ask again? Like, I didn't hear you the first time. Can you come again? I think sometimes people also think because I'm interviewing for this company, I'm like, I would like to like, you're not in an interview process. The way I see it is a two-way street. So you are checking to see if this company is a good fit for me, and they're also checking to see if you're a good fit for them. I've never been of the belief that I should just work anywhere just because of it. Because at the end of the day, by the time you get into the company and then you're very miserable, and then before you know it, you do 1 month and you're like, I can't take this anymore, and then you're out. So you've wasted people's time in hiring, because hiring is a very long and stressful process. Like getting the right people in is a very stressful process. And then after a month, you realize that it's not a good fit for you. It's not what you wanted in the first place. Like, just don't waste everybody's time, and just be sure that this is where you really want to be first. So yes. So that's what I'll just say about like the interviewing process. Just do your research about the company. Please like check your CVs. Like make sure like there are 0 to no grammatical errors. And I think sometimes when you write your CVs, like don't think the CV is okay just because after you wrote it is fine. Like send it to like 3 people. Let them check it for you. Like make sure your cover letter is like interesting, not just like no grammatical errors, because your cover letter is what tells the company about you. That's your own way of introducing yourself, like out of it, just to say, oh hi, my name is Simi and this is how I'm amazing. You understand? So also then when you do get in, so for me when I got in, it was very easy to get overwhelmed with like all of the knowledge I had to learn. So before I got in, I thought I was a smart person, like I was, and then I got in and I felt stupid for a while, because like you're just in an organization where they're like these amazingly smart people like that. You say you're like, what did I know before now? So but I think it's okay to feel that way, because it's going to take you a while to really like get in and understand what you have to do. So I'll just say like pace yourself. I mean, I'm almost a year there now. So I'll be a year next month. So I mean, it has gotten way better than when I first started. Like I have like more, like I'm more involved in everything I'm doing. I understand what I'm doing very well. So that's it. I don't know if you guys have any questions. But yeah, this is the end of my talk.
There is one question in the chat box.
Okay. So yes, hi. Okay, yeah. Fumini said hi, Simi. Okay, the introductions. Well, most the roles are well noted, but in most Nigerian tech companies, many of these roles get merged so that the roles may not be defined as such. So yes, I agree with him. I slightly agree with him, but the truth is, especially if you're going to work for a startup, I think people think it's very fancy to say, oh, I'm going to work for a startup and it's exciting. But the truth is that it is a startup. So that means at the beginning, things are very rocky. And like the company is rapidly evolving. I mean, as I said, the role I came in as is not what I'm doing anymore. There are people that I know that have switched roles maybe 2 times from the time I've joined. So, yes, sometimes you might be doing one thing. So, for example, I've been like, even as my role as a key account manager, I've also been in the product team. So, which means I'm also like trying to give insight to the product team as to how, like from a customer's perspective. So when they're figuring out this is the next thing we want to do. So for me, it's like this is what I as a customer, this is how I feel about these changes that you want to make. So yes, the truth is the roles might sometimes, like you might end up doing more than what you even came in for, but I'm also just speaking from my experience from working at Paystack. I don't know about other companies, I don't know about how they work. Okay, but for example, when I was in GTB and I was in tech, I was in technology, like most of what I did was, also my role was, like I was writing business requirement documents for projects, passed on to the developers. But at some point, I also started managing projects. So which means I was also following up. I was also almost like a project manager. I was also following up on all of these projects to see, okay, where are we at as now? Who is it with? Has it gone from developer to the tester? Is it with security and all of those things? So yes, I agree. It definitely, your roles will get met, but I don't think that's even specific to technology. I mean, like there's nowhere you work, especially in Nigeria, that like that your roles might not get made, might not end up not doing more than what you're actually came in for. But at Paystack, they make sure that you enjoy what you do, and like it's an amazing place, and you feel like you have some form of ownership about the product, such that you don't feel like you're being forced to do what you're doing. Sometimes you even want to take ownership for what you're doing, like, and just do other things just to ensure, like, we're a family, we all work together, and we want to all work together. So when the company grows, we grow. So that's how it works. Yeah, that's the answer to that question. So yes, I don't know if anyone else has any questions.
Hello, guys. If you have questions, please type in your question in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask your question. We'll wait for 3 minutes. If nobody has any questions, we'll bring the webinar to a close. So please, if you do have questions, please.
So in case anyone also asks, like, okay, so what about project management skills? So, sorry, Babatope, are you asking me what skills you need? Okay, what does a product specialist need that? Yes, you do. As a product specialist, you definitely do need some project management skills, because there are times when one of your accounts, one of your merchants would maybe log a request to you and say, "One change is made on our platform or something," and it's really your job to follow up like with the internal team, with the product team, with the engineers, to make sure that what they requested for is done, and like you're also communicating to them, back to your merchant, to tell them, okay, I've logged your request now, this is where we are at the moment, and when it's done, like you're also communicating to them to tell them, yes, like the project is done now and you're live and all of that. Like you also like actually need to work with like a lot of people, just because you have to, like, it's almost like your the key accounts you manage, you're lobbying for them internally. So like you have to be friends with everybody to just to ensure like the work is, sometimes they might have issues with finance, you might have to follow up with the finance team. So yes, definitely. I hope that answers your question. Also, like if you guys have any, you can always, like, let me just type in my Twitter handle. You can just send me a message on Twitter, or send me a message on LinkedIn. I'll definitely just introduce yourself as somebody from the what's this again?
Masterclass webinar.
Masterclass webinar. Exactly. So yes, just introduce yourself and I will definitely respond to you. So yeah, I'm typing in my LinkedIn ID. You can also just check out my profile and say hi, and yeah, I will say hi back. So that's it. But I'm more active on Twitter. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Simi. It was such an interesting and very time-rewarding webinar. We are grateful for having you here. If anybody has questions after the webinar is done, you can send me your questions and I'll send them to her. So thank you so much for complimenting your hair. Okay, thank you so much.
All
I'm going
right.
to end the meeting now. Bye, guys.
All right. Thanks, Abby. Bye.